YouTube, it's your beekeeper here, taking a look again at this WW grinder, chipper/grinder machine. What are we doing today? There's a few things we're going to do to this thing. Remember, I picked this up, it was either the end of 2019 or very early 2020. It was before I had the accident and I broke all my bones. And so this thing has sat for several months now, but it's time to get it back up and running in the front of the project list. I attempted to replace the belt. This was the belt it came with. It didn't break. Surprisingly, it hasn't broken, but I'm going to do this one-handed with my gimpy hand. You know, it's got that, right? This whole belt is cracked all throughout. So I measured it, but I measured it wrong. I bought a B46. That was incorrect. This engine is all the way back, and it doesn't have enough tension to keep from spinning. So I got a B44. I've got some rubber for this. The little flapper that was here is rotten. That's just old rotten rubber. So I picked up some neoprene scrap we have at work. We use this 1/4 inch, almost the same thing. We use 1/4 inch, this black neoprene rubber in the course of our daily operation at work. And oh, look at that crack. Ooh, shiny objects. And so I picked up there's a little scrap piece, right? There's always scraps left over. We throw in a box, and I picked up a piece. I'm going to replace this today, do the belt, and then I'm going to work on a chip diversion unit. And this thing works well, right? I'm happy for what it is. For what it is, it works well. A grinder that handles branches. It handled these eucalyptus branches that were like 2 inches thick, 2 inches across, I should say, and 2 inches thick. And it was fine, right? And it works well for the leaves. And this is the pile of leaves I want to grind down just to test it, right? This is not a test of the system. This is going to be a test of what I'm going to build. So a few months ago, when I was kind of cleaning up around here, cleaning up the hoard, I got rid of an old barbecue that I had hanging around that I hadn't used in a while, and it was rusty because you live by the ocean, you get rust. And I saw these pieces that are kind of pre-bent. This was like an inner shield. This is the outer cover, of course. And I'm thinking, because right now when this thing operates, and I'll inject a clip here, it blows chunks down and in every direction. So I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool if I could build something. I think it was suggested several times actually to build some sort of, to just kind of spit all stuff out this way, and then you can, as it gets piled, you can just kind of move it down to where you have to go, and you leave a nice trail as opposed to blowing it out all over the wheels. So I thought that this would be a pretty decent, I think I'm going to use this one. I think. Put food grease on it. And do something to the lines of that, right? But of course inside the wheels. And then put sides on it, and then it'll spit all the chips that way. So I'm going to do the basic maintenance on this thing, and I'm going to set you guys down, and you can watch if you want, or you can watch if you want. All right, we'll be right back. looking at both of my metal options. I think I'm going to use this one because this one's bigger. I don't know how well you can see that with the shadow. This one is got a bigger scoop, right? It's got this piece of return vent right here, which my thinking is there's a lip here, maybe, oh, I don't know, ½ inch, 5/8 of an inch. So I'm thinking that I can take either this side or this side, it doesn't really matter, and hook it here as one thing, and then make a tab down here that it can bolt onto to make it scoop this way. And of course I'll put sides, so everything that comes out will be directed out this way. That's the plan. Let me start cutting it up. I have this as a backup in case it doesn't work, but this has these nice bent tabs already that I could tack weld, or I could bolt a side piece to once all that funk, once I get this thing. So I figure I'm going to cut this one a little bit longer and be able to do the same thing. Cut some little doodads, and then. So I'm going to set you down. I'm going to put my music in my ears. See what I come up with.
So you think, again, after 900 plus videos uploaded on YouTube, I know how to use my equipment, but somehow I didn't have the camera rolling when I cut up this outer shell. This is the lid, right? The top of the clamshell. This is the outer skin to the lid of the barbecue. And I just cut the width 1 inch wider than the actual length in between the two legs there, and then I folded over the tabs and punched some holes in it. I'm just trying to see which kind of has a better slope here. I have the rest of the fabrication of this shoot on video, and then as a matter of fact the camera died, the battery died at the very end, so I'm making this voiceover recording as I'm editing, so hopefully I can tie in the end of this video so it kind of makes sense. But I'll let you know now, spoiler alert, I'm really happy with how the shoot came out. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm going to break this entire thing down and do a complete paint job on it here. Probably not this year. It's not an extreme priority for me, but I'm in the process of throwing out a bunch of stuff in my backyard. So that extra Gilson tractor, the second Gilson tractor, as well as this chipper are now living inside the shed, one of the sheds I have. So it's out in the weather. So I'm just mumbling some crap there. It doesn't really matter what I'm saying. But nonetheless, this chipper would look great with a fresh coat of paint. I think that Gilson tractor would look great with a fresh coat of paint. And now that neither of these have to live out in the elements, I can have them inside of a shed. I'm going to spend the time and energy in painting them. So let's get back on with the fabrication. I'm just doing some test fitting here. We'll do the legs, and then I'll show you how I install it in the machine. No fancy fabrication here. This is another panel off of the barbecue. I like it because it has some kind of coating on it. It's not powder coating, it chips. It's almost like a enamel, ceramic enamel, some kind of coating on it. And I believe it'll be pretty durable. Obviously it's been sitting out in my yard and hasn't completely rusted away. So I'll scuff it up and spray it the green when I paint the chipper. But just kind of laying things out here, trying to get the most use of this flat panel, the most effective use of this panel. And I am teachable. I am teachable, I think. Trainable, I don't know. All this leftover pieces went right into the recycle bin. I kept nothing else from the barbecue. I kept these specific pieces behind from the scrapper because I wanted them for the chipper. And then now that I used, and of course, I got to clean, but now that I've used everything that I need to make this little chip diversion chute, the remainder of the barbecue went into the recycle bin. So I'm really trying to, I don't know, only hold on to the really good stuff in the hoard, which is, everything's good. Everything's good. I decided to do pop rivets on this. Not for lack of wanting to weld anything, but because I seem to have somehow acquired 10,000 pop rivets, and I wish I was exaggerating, of various sizes and durability. Just over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, having all my not all my friends pass away, but some really good friends pass away that have had some pretty amazing tool and hoard collections. For whatever reason, pop rivets seem to be very plentiful. So I'm like, I could just do that, which I did. And I use that hand punch just because sometimes it's easier in this, well, not sometimes, but it's easier in this sheet metal just to punch holes than it is to use a twist drill bit. Anyway, it's faster, it's pretty accurate. Except I'm still struggling with the coordination of my right hand that I broke back in January. So you can't really tell because I've got everything sped up, but I feel pretty clumsy, and I'm working through it, trying not to be impatient. But this is going to be the finished thing. I'm pretty happy. Let's see how it looks on the machine.
Back from a quick lunch break. I think that's going to work. You see how I can do a bracket off to the side here. Trying not to drill too many holes in this chassis. I think I can do an angle bracket off of these bolts here. And then just hang this way. That'll work. I think that'll work. Let's try it. Wow. So this is coastal buckeye. It's a buckeye tree. It's green, of course, right? I just trimmed them right off. Fairly soft. But with that screen there, look at how fine that is. That's all right. Other than a few big sticks that got through, overall, I think I like that. But look at that. Oh yeah. All right, we can make some fine mulch. We can make some shredded mulch. We have options. All right, sounds good. Gotta go, gotta run. See ya.